Hello, lovely people. It's another day with the Hindu woman, and I hope you guys are okay. Thank you guys for your views. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your likes. Thank you so very much for the love you show me on this channel. And I hope also you guys are doing okay. And if you are new to this channel, please, before you leave, hit that red icon to subscribe and also touch the notification bell so that when I upload, you get notifications. So for today's tutorial, we are going to be making a petite off-shoulder dress with knee flay, and I shall be using this lace fabric for it. This is just 1.5 yards of lace fabric. Okay, and the measurement we shall be needing today are as follows. We shall be using the off-shoulder measurement, that is at this point. We shall also be using the chest measurement, which is above the bust area here. Okay, and also the bust, the waist, the hip measurement, and of course the half length and then the full length. Also we'll include the peplum measurement. All right, let's just hit the cutting table. So we're going to be cutting the lower part first of all, and we're going to be cutting it just the same way we cut our pencil skirt. Okay, so we're going to be folding our fabric first into 2 and then into 2 again, making it into 4. Okay, I've been folded into 2. I'm going to fold again, making it into 4. And I'll be leaving just 1 inch for zip allowance. Okay, now our length is 23 inches, which is here. I added just 1 inch extra for allowance. Then our waist measurement is 30 divided into 4, since I folded my fabric into 4 to give us 7.5. I'll put that, so I'll add 1 inch for that and then 2 inches for seam allowance. Now my hip measurement, I'll take 9 inches down. This is my hip line. For some it is 8 inches. Then my hip measurement is 42 divided into 4 give us 10.5. I will also add 2 inches for allowance. Okay, so I will connect my waistline to my hip line. Okay, and then I will drag this my hip line down to the hemline. And seeing that the measurement is at the folded edge of the fabric, it means that it should be like this. Okay, so at this down part, I will go in by 1.5 inches. And then I'll connect this 1.5 inches to my hip measurement. So this is what we have. I will now cut it. So this is what we have for our down panel, for our skirt block. That's the lower part of our dress. Now we go to the upper part. Okay, so for the upper part, we are going to be doing the back panel first of all. And our half length is 10 inches. I added just 1 inch extra for allowance, for the seam allowance. And then for my zip allowance, I removed just 1 inch also. Okay, now my chest measurement is 34 divided into 4 will give us 8.5, which is here. I will also be adding 2 inches extra for allowance. And then my bust measurement is 36 divided into 4 will give us 9. I will also add 2 inches extra for allowance. And then my waist measurement is 30 inches divided into 4 will give us 7.5. Because I'll be putting that, I will also include it, which is 1 inch. and then 2 inches allowance. So now this is what we have. This is our chest joined to our bust and then our waist. Okay, so I will now cut this one out. Okay, so here we go for the front panel. Our half length is 10 inches. We added 1 inch extra. Now our bust point to bust point measurement is 7 inches. I'll be adding half an inch extra to it. So at the end of the day, I'll be marking 4 inches. So I'm marking 4 inches all the way down. Okay, so from our chest point to our nipple point is 4 inches. I will also add half an inch for the fold up here. So I'll mark 4.5 inches. Okay, now at this point I'm going to go up by 1 inch and then come down also by 1 inch. I hope you understand this. This is 1 inch from the nipple point and 1 inch below the nipple point. Okay, now at the chest area I'm going to go towards the folded area by 1 inch and then to the unfolded area by 1.5 inches. Okay, now at the waistline area I'm going to go in by 1 inch also towards the folded area, and then at the unfolded area I will go in by 1.5 inches. So this is what we have: 1 inch, 1.5, 1 inch, 1.5. Okay, so the next thing we should do now is to connect this 1 inch here to this point, which is 1 inch away from the nipple point, this way. Then you connect this one also to this point. You connect this one to this point. You connect this one to this point. Okay, and also make sure that this place is not sharp. All right, now we have to take our measurement. Our chest measurement was 34 divided into 4 will give us 8.5, which is here. Remember, all together what we are going to remove here is 2.5 inches, so we are going to still include it. Okay, and then our allowance 2 inches. This is it. Okay, so now for our bust measurement is 36 divided into 4 will give us 9. I will add 2 inches extra. Okay, for our waist measurement is 30 inches divided into 4 will give us 7.5, which is here. Remember, all together what we removed was 2.5 inches. I'm going to still put it back, and then our 2 inches allowance. Okay, so at the end of the day, this is what we have. So it's just to connect it. Okay. Okay, so this is it. I will now go ahead and cut my lining. So I've cut the lining and I've also lined all of it. This is the back panel. This is the front. Okay, and then this is the upper part. Remember, for lace fabric it's usually double lining. This is the upper part, the front panel. This is the back panel. So I'll go to my machine now. Having lined it, I will join the front panel together. I mean the upper part and the lower part. I will join them. I will also join the back panel. Now with the joining done, I'm going to now pin the two back panels together first. I'm supposed to put the zip, but because I will be attaching a sleeve that might extend to this zip area, I wouldn't be putting the zip now. So I just want to hold it with my pin. So having pinned them together, I will now place the front panel against the back panel and take our body measurement. Now we take our body measurement. Our chest measurement was 34, divided into 2 is 17. Our bust measurement is 36, divided into 2 will give us 18. So we measure, we mark the 18. Our waist measurement is 30, divided into 2 will give us 15. And then the hip measurement is 42, divided into 2 will give us 21. Okay. So now I'm going to connect the measurements. Okay. So this is it for the upper part. Now at the lower part, so now for this hemline area, I will be using the measurement of 36 also. That is our bust measurement. That's what I'll be using for this lower part. So I'm going to measure 18 inches. 36 divided into 2 will give us 18. Okay, so I'll connect it. So this is it. I will now go to my machine, sew it as I marked it, sew. Okay, so now having joined the two fabrics, the two panels, the front and the back together, this is what we have now. All right, so now we are going to be cutting the lower part, that is the peplum that will be around this area, and I'll be using this same measurement I worked with down here. That is our bust measurement, 36 inches, to cut the peplum for this down part so that it will fit in very well. What we are going to be using for the down part. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to divide the bust measurement into 2 because I would want it to have waves. I will divide the bust measurement into 2 and it will give us 18. So I will now find the radius of 18, which is 2.38, approximately 2.4, and that is the circumference I will be cutting with. Okay. So I'm folding my fabric into 2, just the same way we do our circle dresses, into 2 and then into 2 again, making it into 4. Okay, now for the radius, remember it is 2.4. 2.4. So you measure 2.4 all around here. And then the length of our peplum is 9 inches, allowance inclusive. So with this done now, I'm going to cut it out. So I will now be using this to cut another one. Each of the steps are going to be 2 this way. So this is 1. I'm still going to cut exactly the same measurement to make it double. Okay, so now having doubled it, as you can see, I'm going to still cut another one, another step. Since this is 9 inches, this is 9 inches, so the next one should be 7 inches. I hope it's clear. And then the third one should be 5 inches. Okay, so these are the 3. You can see it. Each of them, like I said, each of them, I cut them into 2 places. Remember, we divided the bust measurements that we used at the lower part into 2. And then we used the radius to cut this circumference and then the varying lengths. I hope it's very clear. Okay, now I'm going to still cut this paper gum. This is a medium size interlining. I'm going to cut it on each of these pieces I made. Then I will also cut the lining to go with it. I will use my pressing iron to glue this at the body and then line it perfectly. Okay, so this is it. As you can see, I have used the interlining and carefully glued it on the body. I did so on each of the pieces I cut out. So I will now go to the machine and line them properly. Okay, so as you can see, I am done with the lining. And this is the result. This is what we have. I hope you can see it. I actually had to join. Remember, we cut each of the steps into 2. So I opened one side up, joined the 2 together. This is what I mean. You can see all of them has a joining. I opened one side and joined the 2 ends together in order to achieve this. Okay, so the next thing I should do now is I will now start fixing this particular peplum at the hemline. I will walk round our dress. So I'm going to fix it round our dress. And when I am done, I will put the zip at the back. Okay, so after the joining, this is what we have. You can see the lower part. Okay, I've also inserted the zip. Now for the sleeve. Okay, so for the sleeve, I'm going to be tracing out this design at the tip of our lace fabric. I hope you can see it. I'm going to trace it out, and that's what I'll be using for the sleeve. The measurement for our sleeve is, the length of it is 37. I measured across the shoulder. That's what I measured because it's purely an off-shoulder dress. So around the shoulder. Okay, so I'm going to now trace it out. Okay, so this is it after the tracing. I will just carefully place it this way. Remember, I said it's 37 inches for the length of this sleeve. So I will just measure out 37 inches. I will include 1 inch on each end for the zip allowance. I'm still going to open up this zip at this area because it's going to still be this way. Okay, so I'm going to include 1 inch extra on each of the 2 sides and then 1 more inch for ease. So at the end of the day, I should measure out 40 inches. Okay, so at long last, this is what we have. You can see the sleeve. I have to turn the back so that you also see it. This is the back area. This is it. Okay. And this is the down part. Thank you guys very much for watching till the end. I sincerely appreciate you guys. And if you are new to this channel, please hit that red icon before leaving to subscribe. Don't also forget to touch the notification bell. Until we get to meet again in my next class, don't ever forget the needle woman loves you from the bottom of her heart. Take very good care of yourself. Bye.